This morning, I really didn't understand what direction God was going to go in, but I was hearing we must understand who our God is from the beginning. And yesterday, I was reading Isaiah 46 and 10, and I was just assuming that God was saying declare the end from the beginning, which is what he's saying, but there was so much more that he revealed to me. And so I'm going to read Isaiah 46, 4 through 10. I think I'm going to skip either verse 8 or 9, but it'll all make sense. So I'm going to begin with verse 4 and 5. And I'm reading this out of the Amplified Classic Edition. And Isaiah 46, 4 through 5 says, even to your old age I am he, and even to hair white with age will I carry you. I have made, and I will bear. Yes, I will carry and will save you. To whom will you liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be alike? So, starting off, God lets us know that, number one, he made us, therefore he will bear us, carry us, and save us, right? So he's letting us know what type of God he is. And the reason why this is important is because you're really going to have to see who God is, or who your idols and who your gods are, right? And God just kind of let us know from the beginning who he is and who everyone is not. And then he sets it up by asking the question, to whom will you liken me, and make me equal, and compare me, that we may be alike? And this is not a question that you can just answer, because who is like God? Who can be compared to God, right? But sometimes we unconsciously and sometimes consciously will put a God in his place to almost compare him, or make that God or idol equal to him, right? And so God begins to describe the idols and gods that most people will try to compare to him. And he says in Isaiah 46 and 6, they lavish gold out of the cup or bag, weigh out silver on the scales, and hire a goldsmith, and he fashions it into a god. Then they fall down. Yes, they worship it. So remember, at the beginning, God said that he made us. But here, he's letting us know that the gods and idols that people have to try to make equal to him, we make those idols. We make those gods. So, number one, he made us, but you're trying to compare him and make him equal to what you make. I don't know if y'all getting it, but it's ministering to me. And then in verse 7, he says, they bear it upon their shoulders in religious processions or into battle. They carry it and set it down in its place. And there it stands. It cannot move from its place. Even if one cries to it for help, yet the idol cannot answer or save him out of his distress. So again, first, God tells us that he made us. He's showing you what you're comparing to him, you make. But then he tells us that because he makes us, he bears us, he carries us, and he saves us. But look at this. The idol and the gods that you make, you carry them. It says that you bear it on your shoulder. Like you have to carry it around. It can't save you. God says that he saves us, but he's saying it can't save you. It can't even move. It can't answer your cries. Like it can't save you. So he's literally setting himself up so much higher than the idols and the gods that you have. So again, I'm gonna run this down. He says that he made us. He tells us in Isaiah 46 and 6 that the gods and idols that you make, that you have or try to make equal to him, you make them. Then he tells us that he bears us. He says that he carries us. He says that he saves us. In verse 7, he says, you bear the idol that you make. You carry the idol that you make. And the idol that you make, it can't save you. All right, so it's going to get better than this. Okay, and in verse 9, he gives this flex, right? He says, earnestly, remember the former things which I did of old, for I am God, and there is no one else. I am God, and there is none like me. So he's calling you to remember everything that he's ever done. And all of these things set him apart from any idol or God that you are trying to sit next to him, make him equal to, compare him to, right? So there is no other God like him. There is no God that can be compared to him or equal to him, right? And as a matter of fact, he declares like that he is God, right? He's setting himself so far apart from anything that you're trying to compare him to or make equal to him, right? So now we get to Isaiah 46:10. And Isaiah 46:10 says, declaring the end and the result from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure and purpose. So at best, someone can predict what will happen. Like these idols and gods and things that you're trying to compare to him, they can kind of guess, right? But God is saying he's so God that he is not speaking of tomorrow. He's not speaking of the next hour. He's literally declaring the end, the result of it at the very beginning. Now here we are with the second day of the new year, and God declares your end, the result of this year now. That's what type of God we serve, right? He goes even further and says, from ancient times, the things that are not yet done. That means he's not even just going ahead and declaring the end from the beginning. He goes all the way back to ancient times and declares then what happens in the end. Like he went back all the way in ancient times and declared what hasn't even been done yet. So that's the type of God that we need to understand that we serve at the very beginning. He says, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure and purpose. Like whatever he says, it is going to like whatever pleases him, whatever his purpose is for you and for any of us this year, like it's going to happen. He's going to do all of his pleasures. He's going to do his purpose and all of his counsel. All of those things he will do. Those things will stand. That's the type of God we need to know that we serve at the very beginning. I don't need to think about this at the end. Like I need to know that this is the type of God that I serve at the beginning, right? And like to bring all of this thing together, God led me to Ephesians 1:9, and it says, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself. So that means not only do you serve a God that declares the end from the beginning, and even from times past, he's saying and speaking of things that have not been done yet. He's revealing those things to us. It says that he made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself. So if you serve an idol or serve a God that you're trying to even compare to God, or you're trying to make equal to God, man, that thing is not going to stand. That is not going to be anything you're going to be able to depend on. So you're entirely too late if you're trying to declare anything at the end of this year. Like we have to know it now. We're serving a God who's revealing the mysteries of his will to us now, so that we can declare the end, the result from the beginning. So I'm saying this is a great year, but I'm also saying this was one of the best years, and not just for me, but for all of us who serves a God that cannot be compared to and none is equal to. Glory to God.